What's up everyone, Jay here, just doing a video on personal accountability and responsibility in the age of the victimhood mindset. Now, for most of my life, I played the victim. That's an honest admission, and made excuses for where my life was. It's probably only something over the last, 5 to 6 years that I've really reassessed how I look at life. But for a long time there, I thought it was somebody else's problem. The reason was somebody else, not me. And a great example of that is my trials and tribulations with my weight. To give you a clear example of what I mean by that is, for a long time, I was just saying that I was part of a big boned family. I made excuses for why I was gaining weight. I made excuses for why I was fat. And you're never going to get anywhere if you're always blaming something else rather than taking that personal accountability and responsibility for your actions, because the only way you get fat is by eating more than you actually need. And that, in an instance, in the world of woke thinking, that is your privilege. Imagine being in a place or a world where you can eat more than you need, feel sorry for yourself, blame other people, and then realize that you've put on weight. Yet we've got people all around the world who still are suffering from malnutrition and starvation. What a warped perspective to have when you actually think about it. So one of the first steps, I know I spoke about mindset in the other video about identifying the thing that is your addiction and making change to allow yourself not to fall into that, or just to pinpoint exactly what your addiction is and changing your habits around that. It's no different with personal accountability and responsibility. It's something you need to take and own the fact that you are where you are because of your own decisions. No one forced that food in your mouth. No one forced you to overeat. No one forced you to not look after your body. The only person who decided on that was you. And when you come to grips with that and realize, I am personally responsible for what I put in my mouth, I am personally responsible for the type of exercise and things I do to keep fit, stay healthy, I am personally responsible for the person who drinks alcohol or does whatever which is excess and not required for the body. That's all on yourself. And once you get to that level of understanding and personal accountability and responsibility, you become a better person, because you're no longer blaming other people for where you're at, and you're realizing that you are the master of your own destiny. You control everything. Your body is something that you own and control. There's nobody else making you fat. No one. Just you, your own decisions, the own things you choose to put in your mouth, the things that you choose to consume. That is all on you. And if you realize that, and you come to a point where you're still, angry at the world or whatever it might be for the fact that you are overweight, well, I'm sorry to tell you, but there's no one to blame but yourself. And once you get to that stage, there's a sense of relief, because you realize that what has happened to you can be changed, can be controlled, and can allow you to get to a better place in life. Because I believe there's a direct correlation to how you feel about yourself and your body weight and what your self-perception is of what you look like. I think people are ultimately living in some weird fantasy land that don't believe that. For this whole body positivity movement, I'm 100% around not berating people who are overweight or obese, but at the same token, I don't believe it's healthy. It's rather ironic actually, to try and make it out that it's something that is okay. I know there's a balancing act. You need to do that from a perspective of people's mental health, if we want to put it that way. But again, a bit of tough love sometimes goes a long way. I remember my old man, bless his heart, I don't think he ever was malicious in what he said, but he always would pull me up for what I would look like, and he was brutal. And it's only with the perspective of age and life do I then think, how come I didn't listen to him? He was clearly stating something that was a fact, and rather than me getting angry at myself, I would get angry at him. People would be like, oh, what kind of father's that? I think that's a good one. One that is honest, transparent, and says it how it is. That's how you should be with your kids. Now that I have 2 kids of my own, whilst I wouldn't be as blunt as him, he's obviously much from a different generation, I would do the same thing. I think being honest and providing people with feedback in a way that is empathetic but really helps them understand you probably need to make changes in your life is something that needs to happen more. It's going to be a tough thing to do, but I think the best friend you will ever have is the one who looks at you and says, I think you need to make a change in your life. I'm afraid that the way that you're treating yourself and your body is going to lead to something bad. I'm here for you. I'm here to help. And let me know what I can do to help you in this path. But if people continue down a path of not wanting to change, well, that's on them. So what am I getting at in this video is simple. The only reason why you're fat is you. Sounds harsh, but you know, I was a big fatty. I have been for, I would say, at least 60% of my life. And I lived on this weird yo-yo of going up and down. And I didn't solve that problem until I came to grips with my own addictions with eating, carbohydrate addiction, sugar addiction, all those things, and have moved to a world where I don't believe in the word moderation. I'm not one of those people. Abstinence is where I need to go. And through abstinence, I sustain what I've done from a positive perspective for my body. I've lost 33 kilos and I'm able to maintain that now. And this message is for all the people who don't think they can do it. I think you can. It's pretty simple. If I can do it, anyone can do it. So get out there, make the most of your life. And if you're in a position where you keep blaming other people rather than blaming yourself, change that mindset, because the only person who can change is you. You're the only person who is in control of the way you look and feel. Anyway, that's all I got for today. I'll catch you around.